Since the legislation change in May 2014, it was difficult to say what was happening because we were reporting more offences than ever before due to the private place amendment and extension. Having compared the figures for the first 6 months of last year and the first 6 months of this year, certainly in the Met we're seeing another 7% increase in seizures this year than we did last.
There's a good reason Inspector O'Hara is so committed to removing potentially dangerous dogs from our streets.
The whole side of her face had been opened up. It was just horrendous.
Carla and her brother Luca were excited about Christmas. They were on their way home from a fair. 2 unleashed pit bull terriers were walking towards them.
I just heard the scream, I just heard the mum, and I obviously instantly turned around, instantly ran back. You know, the adrenaline just kicked in at that point. And as I turned back and ran the few steps back towards him, I saw Carla on the ground with a dog. I just did what a mum would do. I instinctively started yelling, screaming, and leapt onto them, onto the dog, onto them. And I basically had to prise the jaws of this dog off Carla's face. He basically had her entire, she was 4, so she was very little, had her entire face in his jaws.
Dushka flagged down a car and asked the driver to rush her to a nearby hospital.
I got home to an empty house, made a few calls, couldn't contact Dushka. Then I get a call. This is the Royal Free, your daughter's been attacked by a dog. Get here as quickly as you can. So I literally just leg it down the road as fast as I can. Walked in, see Dushka first, and in bits, apologising.
Obviously I had the motherly guilt of I didn't look after our children well enough. I let this happen. That was the major emotion that was going through me, was, oh my God, I can't believe I've done this. I can't believe this has happened to my daughter.
Yeah. And actually,
why us?
Dushka saved Carla's life, essentially.
Had the dog gone a little bit deeper here, kind of the jugular area, I mean, it did. It definitely cut the whole of this bottom part of her face.
Severed all of the muscles across the bottom there, which isn't far away from jugular. It fractured her cheekbone. Could have easily crushed her skull in his jaws. She had cuts all the way around her eye as well. I mean, it's
a miracle.
It's a miracle.
Absolute miracle.
She did not lose that eye. Unbelievable.